Okay, so here we are going to create the database first. So for that we require to select the RDS service, which is relational database service. So from the AWS dashboard, select RDS option. Here there is one more option called as create database. Click on that. Under this you have multiple options for selecting the database what you require. So first of all we will choose the standard create option. Then from these options we will select MySQL. Automatically the version gets selected. If you want to change it you can, but this is a recent one which has been selected. Now from the templates we are going to choose the free tier version. Then this is the database identifier. So this you can keep default, which has been named as database 1. Now it is asking to set the credentials. So the master username is admin. If you want you can even change this, but I'll keep this same, the by default one. You can auto generate the password or you can set your own password. So I'm setting one master password. This password you should remember. Okay, so you need to write down or note down the database identifier, the master username, and the password what you are setting up here. So these are important settings which will be required when we have to connect to the RDS server, RDS instance. So remember your password should be at least 8 character long. So I've set my password. Now since we have chosen the free tier version, it will automatically select which uh, which RAM and the configuration will be chosen by default. So I hope you remember this is the free tier version which is available in the instance in EC2. So the same has been selected here. Now we don't have to change all these settings. We'll keep the settings as it is. Now there is one thing called as additional configuration. So this is the database port to which we will be connecting, which we will get connected. Okay. One second. Now, yeah. So we do not have to change the VPC. It will be default. Even the subnet group will be default. Publicly accessible, yes. VPC Security Group. So here we will create new security group and here we will name it something. Okay. So here I'm naming it as SG. SG stands for security group. So security group RDS. Okay, so SGRDS is what I have named it. Availability zone, you can give your own preference. So suppose I select US East 1C. Now here as you can see, the default port is 3306. We do not have to change this. Password authentication, yes. Now there is one more additional configuration button here. It is asking us to create a database which will be the initial database during the connectivity. So again here I am naming this as DB1, that is database 1. Now I will uncheck this. I don't need automatic backups, so I have unchecked that. Rest all the options we will keep as it is, and we will create database. So it will take some time to create the database. Okay, so it is being created. So in the meantime, In the meantime, we will try to create our instance because we will require one machine through which we will access this particular uh, database service, right? So in the meantime, we will try to set up that machine. So we will go to EC2. So I have selected the EC2 service from AWS. Here we will go to launch instance. So this is the process what we usually follow. You can choose here free tier only just to take care of like only displaying the free tier services. So we are going to set up a Linux machine. So I'm choosing the first option. So I'll select this. Now this is what the free tier eligible we have to select. Then we'll configure. So now in the third step, you have to uh, change the subnet, okay, because we have chosen the zone or the availability zone as 1C. So we will select the 1C subnet over here. Okay, now rest all the settings we will keep as it is. Then add storage. No, I mean there is no change in this particular setting. Add tags not required. In the sixth step, okay, now here in the sixth step, we have to choose the existing security group. So we had created one security group just now. Okay, so this is the one what we had created, SGRDS. So this is one what we have to select. And yeah, and we have to review and launch. So we simply have to select the existing. So by default it is create new security group. So we are not creating any new security group. We have to select the existing one, and this is what we had selected in the previous step in the RDS service. This we have to select, and we will review and launch our service. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, so we will launch this. Okay, and now here we will be creating a new pair. We will name this pair something. So suppose this is RDS key. I'll download this. Okay, and I will launch the instance. So again, this will take some time. Okay, so you can name this Linux for RDS and save it. We'll check that our database is ready. We'll refresh this. So still it is being created. So again, it will take a little time. Yeah. So now our database is ready. We'll click over this. Yes, so we have got the endpoint. So this is what will be required to connect to the database. And we will check. Yes, our instance is also run. Okay. 1 second. Huh? Okay. So once this database is ready, you have to go to the security settings. So here, as you can see, this is the connectivity and security setting. Now, this is the Vpc Security Group. So click over this, and here there is something called as inbound rule. Click on this and go to the edit option. So edit inbound rules. So as you can see here, only one port has been added, which is 3306. So this is the port which is 3306. We have to add one more rule which is for port number 22. So we will add rule, and here we have to yeah, so here we'll make anywhere, here we'll make anywhere, and instead of 3306 we will put 22. Okay. Yes. So this is SSH, this is MySQL, this is port 3306, and this is port 22. And you can save the room. So this is what we have. So these are the changes what we have made just now. So you can see here both the rules have been are being reflected here, 3306 and 22. Now after that we will start our instance. So click on the instance ID, go to connect, and simply click over this connect button. Okay, so the moment you do that, you log into your instance. So this is your terminal for the Linux machine what you have created just now. So here basically, so using this particular instance or using this particular machine, we have to access the RDS, okay, or the database what we have selected just now. So the command for installing MySQL. So here we have created, now try to understand, so this is the Linux machine. We have created a database in the background. We have to now access this using the machine. So in our machine, we will require MySQL. So for that, we have to log in as the root user. So type sudo su, and here type yum install -y MySQL. So understand that the instances what we create on Amazon are not are CentOS based. So here we don't use apt-get command, but instead we use yum command. So in the basic Linux machine, we generally write sudo apt-get install, but here we are using yum install. So basically, we are replacing the apt-get command using or by yum. Hit enter. So now it is installing MySQL, and the installation is complete. Okay. Now our machine or this particular instance has MySQL. This is our database server. 1 minute. So in the RDS, we had created our database server. We have our database here in the Linux machine. So now we have to connect to the server using some more commands. Yes, so this is your database server, right? So in order to connect to that server using this machine, we have a command called MySQL -h. Now after -h, we have to mention the endpoint of the database. So this is the endpoint. So how will you land up here? So in the database, click on the database. Under the connectivity and security tab, you will get this particular endpoint. Simply copy this and here paste it. Okay, copy and paste. Then -u. In front of -u, you have to write down the user who is going to access this. So remember, our username was admin, and you have to write down -p. -p stands for password. And we are connecting to the database what we have created just now. So that was db1. And hit enter. So it will prompt you for the password. So I'm typing the password. Yes. So the moment I type the correct password, my machine is connected to the MySQL server. So here you can create your tables, you can do any database activity. So you can create your tables, view your tables, insert data in the table, select query, anything. So this is how you set up your database using the Linux instance on AWS.